Let me quickly share something with you, especially the believer, right? A major part of unbelief that many believers don't see, or that people don't get to talk about, is that part of you that feels God comes late. Is that part of you that feels, we've been praying, we sowed seed, why did this one happen like this? Is that part of you that feels because it didn't happen the exact way you wanted it to happen, hence God doesn't love you, or God doesn't care about you, or God is not concerned about your thing? I realize that many times unbelief is not just the guys who don't believe. Many times unbelief is the person who thinks he believes yet harbors doubt. So I was talking to a friend, and things had gone a bit shady, things had gone dramatic, irrespective of how much energy she has put in, money, of course, prayer time. And then I discovered something. Many times it is that prayer time we actually mistake for a foundation. No. The foundation is that Jesus died for you. Blood was shed for you. That sacrifice, that sacrifice on the cross is actually the foundation. That knowing that God loves you. Recently, my heart has been brooding around two scriptures. I mean, almost everybody is going through a phase one way or the other. The cobras are not exempted. I need you to get that clearly. We stand in faith, we see God come through every day. My heart has been brooding around two characters, Mordecai and Esther, and then the three Hebrew boys. So Mordecai was talking to Esther, and he told Esther, he said, look, don't forget that they've passed a law for the Jews, and whether or not you like it, you're one of us. That you're a queen doesn't mean you're not a Jew. And part of what you should know is that God has put you here for a time as this, so you know what you ought to do. But then if you don't do it, it doesn't matter. God will raise or will show up for us. That's an assurance of faith. That's an assurance on the character of God. The Hebrew boys, they told their king, they say, it doesn't matter if you put us in the furnace. It doesn't matter if you put us there. We're sure that God will save us. But even if God doesn't show up, even if God doesn't show up, hey sir, the character of faith, right? Of course, there's a patience of faith. The patience of faith talks about you being at that point. It doesn't matter how long you take. You know that, look, sir, I'm not shaking. It doesn't matter if it's going to take forever. I've made up my mind to stand forever. Because every day you make up your mind to stand forever, you won't stand for long. Yeah, it was Papa Hagin that said that every time you make up your mind to stand forever, you won't stand for long. But here's what I'm saying. Faith, it is not faith when things begin to go against how you were praying or thinking and you begin to stagger. That's not faith, it's unbelief. It's that the gospel have not sat. It has not sat in your very before. It has not entered the deep of your consciousness that, look, God loves you and God will never forsake you nor leave you. There are times when things go really bad and you want to be at that position, I understand. But hey sir, faith is making up your mind that, look, whether that child comes or not, it will not stop me from serving God. It will not stop God from being God. Faith is saying whether that deal pulls through or not, hey, yeah, my feet are stamped on this ground and hey, nothing changes it. Faith is actually you waking up to look at how things are going, knowing that you're sowing your seed, you're praying, you're studying the word, you're trusting God with all the last drop of your blood, and then you still make up your mind and say, even if it goes southeast or it goes south north or north or west or wherever, we're here. A very respected minister of the gospel, I love him. I respect him also. I honor him. He was going through a phase in life. It was cancer, I think. Cancer or one of those deadly heart diseases. He gathered his pastors and told them, he said, even if I die, even if this sickness kills me, hey sir, listening to me as your pastor, it should not change the gospel in your mouth that God is not faithful, or that God is not God, or that everything we've preached about God is not real. He's alive. cancer around that was 3 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. He's still alive. But my point is, there's a position of faith. Faith takes a position, it takes a stand that, look, come what may. If the car doesn't come, God is God. If the house doesn't come, God is God. If after all the prayers and everything, I lose that loved one, God is God. There are some things I would love to express or explain, but I can't, because I need the right time to come. But hey sir, hey ma, don't be at that position. Don't be at that position. Don't take that stand where if it looks like it's not going your way, you begin to stagger. Your faith begins to shake. You begin to question if there is God. You begin to want to know if God loves you. Hey, God loves you. God loves you. God loves you. God does love you. You should take the position of faith. You should take the stand of faith. You should take the position of faith. More than that, sir, you should have the aura of faith, that even when you're passing through those difficulties, the faith in you does not allow it show in your face that times are hard. Your vocals, your expressions, what you tell people does not allow them know that you're going through a hardship. Hey, how is that work going? As did you come? My brother, no be small suffer, don't suffer. This thing hard though. No. People should not pity you in faith. There's a character of faith. Faith cannot fail. It has the same character of God. God always shows up. One of the easiest definitions of faith I've ever had was from my pastor, Rena Davis. He said faith is like putting you in a pool. It's either you know how to swim or you don't know how to swim. You either swim out or you drown. Faith is when those challenges face you in the face, like they come to you and say, hey Koba, we are here for you, let's show you a little shaggy, and you look back at them and say, if you like, pull me to the left or to the right, this is my stand. The day you choose to stand forever, you won't stand for long. The day you get to that point where everything is failing and you don't doubt, you don't try to test the love of God for you, you actually know that God loves you.